Good evening, friends of Gawad, Kalinga. It's Thursday evening once again, and this is Donna Reyes for another night of Kwentuhan, where we talk about stories of inspiration from people or with people who are involved in the work for the poor with Gawad Kalinga. And this evening, we have a very special guest. We have Miss Gloria Williams, who is the chairperson of Nafa Rocky Mountain Region 5. So NAFA stands for the National Federation of Filipino American Associations. It's the largest federation of Filipino American organizations nationwide. So Miss Gloria, thank you so much for
Hello.
us this evening.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're excited to have you. So, without further ado, right, Miss Gloria actually has been instrumental in a lot of projects benefiting Gawad Kalinga and its work, of course, for the poor. And we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. But I want us to just to start a little bit, just to warm up a little bit here for those people who may not know Miss Gloria, especially our friends here in Gawad Kalinga, USA. We just want to know a little bit more about you, Miss Gloria. So, what do you do for NAFA? We know that you're the chairperson for the Rocky Mountain Region 5, but what does that? What kind of work does that actually entail?
Well, our mission of NAFA is for the leadership development and civic engagement and national advocacy. Our mission is to amplify the voices of Filipino Americans, advocates on behalf of their interests, and to provide resources to facilitate their empowerment, empowering the Filipino community, the diaspora here in the United States. That's what
actually, if you've been, involved in the Filipino community in your area or even online, we see how NAFA's presence is so strong, especially in the past, election, right, where you really encourage the Filipino American voters to register to vote and vote, right? How was
register and vote? Yes,
right? Register and vote. How was that experience for you?
Excuse me?
How was that experience for you? Encourage.
It was great because you get to meet people who's never voted or is nonchalant about voting. We encourage them to vote because this is why they're here. That's why they are citizens. They need to voice and vote.
I'm curious to know, Miss Gloria, did you encounter any resistance or any, or are they pretty, receptive about, about you encouraging them to vote and things like that? Are they?
Most of them are receptive. Some of them say, I don't want to. So we just let them go. But for those who are receptive, some of them already is registered and have voted already.
Right.
So it's okay. We don't know who we are going to get.
Right. And you can really force people to do something, but I don't think it will stop us from advocating for, our Filipino American community to be involved in terms of, getting voices heard in the government.
That's right. NAFA is advocating for Phil Vote. We have an arm in NAFA called Film Vote. That's where we advocate for Filipino community to vote. We also advocate for everybody to vote. We call that the APIA vote, which is a part of our NAFA Region 5 project. Both of them.
That's awesome. Good at those. So just a little bit background about you, Miss Gloria. So where are you originally from in the Philippines?
I grew up in Cebu. I came to the United States when I got married with my husband in 1966. So I'm here more than I was there. But I still speak Cebuano. Yes, I still speak Cebuano. My Tagalog is horrible, but I can manage.
Well, that's okay because we try to speak at least 90% English. In
Yes.
It's a lot, some of the people who watches are, don't understand Tagalog. So obviously we want them to understand what we're talking about. So so that you're perfectly fine. Now, so do you have any children and grandchildren?
Yes, I have two children. I'm a retired accountant.
Mhm.
I have two children. My son, who lives with me, he's single, and my daughter she lives with her daughter. I only have one grandchild.
Okay.
Yes.
So so you were an accountant, and how did you get involved with NAFA?
Okay. The charter members, Giselle Rashford and Donna Levine, were charter members, and then they encouraged me to go to the empowerment conference in Washington, D.C. in 1999. I went with my daughter and some other delegates from Colorado, and I was so impressed with the quality of people who were there. You get so proud of the people who were so involved and so enthusiastic about being a NAFA member. And so after that, I was sold on NAFA.
So you weren't
Yes.
a member yet when you went to that event.
No, when I went to that event, I wasn't a member. In fact, NAFA Region 5 wasn't in existence yet.
Oh, okay.
No. So when I came back, I was president of our Filipino organization here in Denver, in Colorado. And I was encouraged by one of the founders, John Miligrito. I don't know if you know him.
I've heard of him. I don't think we've met him.
Yes.
I've heard of him.
Also,
Direct Cabenta.
the founder, Alex Esclamado, visited Colorado several times to encourage us to become members. So when I came back from the empowerment conference in Washington, D.C., John Miligrito said, Gloria, you organized the NAFA organization, NAFA Region 5. I said, okay, I'll try. So he keeps hounding me. Okay, Gloria, did you have your officers? Yes. Okay, I have. I'm doing. So I established the NAFA Region 5 to begin with in 1999.
Wow.
When I was president of the organization. Yeah. And so I encouraged the other Filipino organizations and other organizations to become a member of NAFA Region 5. That's when we started, and we're still going.
So what kind of projects do you do with NAFA in your region?
Excuse me again. Say that again.
Projects.
What are my projects? Okay, my project. Let's focus on Gawad Kalinga.
Okay.
Because I'm very proud of what we did for Gawad Kalinga. We have other projects in NAFA Region 5, but with Gawad Kalinga started in 2006 when we funded the Colorado Village, USA in Cabagan, Isabela. It was 75,000. Most of those, it was initiated by the Couples for Christ members. And we were able to do that. We founded a Colorado Village.
That's
I don't know how
awesome.
many. I don't know how many organizations found a Colorado Village, but we are very, very proud of that accomplishment.
And that benefited a lot of families in the Philippines.
The Colorado Village.
Out of poverty.
Yes, and we also bought some boats in Bicol region because they lost their boats, their fishing boats. We did that, and we gave the money to Gawad Kalinga. And we also, in 2020, last year, we had a lot of fundraising for Gawad Kalinga. We did Typhoon Ongfong at $2,500, and we raised money for the COVID, for the kitchen. But I think they use that for the roof. Okay. And we also recently, raise funds for Gawad Kalinga for the COVID.
Mhm.
And we raised over $9,000 for that. And that was headed by one of our members. Her name is Aurelia Grinstead.
Mhm.
She was very successful about that. And then there were other projects that we raised money for. We gave money for Project Cure,
Mhm.
and then we sent money to the Philippine Red Cross. We sent money to the Philippine Disaster Relief Fund. And then we also did fundraising for a couple of medical missions for Cliff Pallet. We did that also. We also did fundraising for the flooding in Baguio, Cordillera.
Mhm.
And that's just part of what we do. And what else do you want me? Those are our fund.
No, that's
Those
plenty
are our
already.
fundraising. We do other things, because we have other missions for Nafa. We do the Colorado Congressional Medal. We
Mhm.
work on that for our World War II veterans. So we did that, and then what else? We funded a micro loan bank. Did you hear about that? I don't know if it's Gawad
No.
Kalinga, micro loan bank,
Uh-huh.
where we funded some of that so that some people can borrow money to start a small business
Right. In the Philippines also.
in the Philippines. And we also raised a lot of money for Typhoon Yolanda.
Okay.
Yeah, in
Wow.
Ormoc. Yeah.
Well,
So that's just part of what we do.
that's just part of it, but that's plenty already.
That's plenty. Yes.
Yeah. For with Gawad Kalinga, as I was mentioning to you earlier before we went live here on Facebook, we highly value partnerships with other Filipino organizations, of course, including NAFA, because we believe that the work of, for the poor, or to lift our country, our motherland out of poverty is
Exactly.
it's so big and so enormous and so huge, so that one organization can do it. We really have to work hand in hand, right? And we're very grateful that with all of the other organizations that you support, that you can choose to support, right? You included Gawad Kalinga as a beneficiary of your efforts and your initiatives. So Miss Gloria, tell us, what is it about Gawad Kalinga that got you interested in supporting our work? There's Red Cross or others. But what is it about Gawad Kalinga that really caught your interest in?
Because you help the poor. It's not like you don't have administrative cost. I don't know. We just like we like Gawad Kalinga because they have boots on the ground, and they know exactly, they can identify who needs what.
Right.
For example, recently Maricel sent me a video of these people in Cebu who lived in the cemetery, and
Yes.
they built a condo. Gawad Kalinga did.
Yes.
And that's wonderful. That's in my home province,
Yes.
And so we like Gawad Kalinga because it's just helping the poor
Mm-hmm.
and people who are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
When Maricel approached me and said that they need to feed the children because of COVID, they don't have lunch because the schools are closed. And that's why we decided to do something. Can you imagine? The kids are going to the school because they don't have any food, but then they don't have the kitchen. It's not open. So we thought of doing something. So
Yeah.
we're in touch with Marisol, the executive director,
Right.
to do something about it. So we raise funds for that too.
Well, we're very thankful, of course, like I said, for your contribution, and partnering with us. We really see NAFA as a partner organization with with Gawad Kalinga.
Yes.
And I think where also Gawad Kalinga differentiates itself from other organizations also helping the Philippines is that it is Philippine born. It is a Filipino, like a Filipino organization, right? It's
Yes.
out of the Philippines. So we take pride of that. Just like NAFA is built an organization of Filipinos, so Filipino Americans for Filipino Americans to represent our voice here in the U.S. Right? For Gawad Kalinga, it's something that is that was established in the Philippines and it's Filipino. Kumbaga tita, it's like Filipino made, right?
Mari bang magtanong na mayroon bang ibang NAFA region na nagtulong sa Gawad Kalinga?
I know, Tita, that NAFA has been involved with Gawad Kalinga for many years. I
Oh, okay.
there's a specific region other than Colorado, right?
Okay, good. I'm
That's a
glad to know
question
that.
for Maricel. Maybe Chrissy can text Maricel.
No, it's okay. I was just curious
No, that's a good
because
question, and
I
I
know
think
some people, I know some people in with NAFA who are familiar with Gawad Kalinga. Oh, good. You're doing Gawad Kalinga. Yes.
yes, like I
And we
said,
told.
I met Tito Greg Macabenta through Gawad Kalinga many years ago. It was when because I handled the communication efforts for the North Central region here in the Midwest at that.
Yes.
And I remember Tita Greg was one of the people mentors who taught us something about PR. I think at that time was public relations and how to engage with the Philippine media and all of that. And as you know, Tita Greg is just also an institution.
He's wonderful.
Yeah,
He's one of the founders, I believe.
yeah,
He was very close to Alex Exclamado. They were together most of the time. He
yeah.
visited us here again with Mr. Exclamado, the late Mr. Exclamado. Yes,
Yeah. So
Mr.
yeah, no.
Exclamado was very aggressive in getting people to be NAFA members. Yes.
So, okay, so Maricel has a comment. I guess this is an answer to your question. NAFA Region 5 is always one of the first to respond, especially when disaster strikes. Thank you, Gloria Williams. That was from.
Thank you. Yes, we do, because it's part of our mission to advocate for our Filipino people. It's part of it, and that's why we do that. And it's not only me; it's just a team effort. A lot of our members, they work so hard to do the fundraising, and only because we're a small group, but yet we can do something at least for our Filipino
Oh
people.
yes, definitely. What
Uh-huh.
contributed has helped a lot of families who are in dire need, and we thank you. We thank Region 5, Rocky Mountain Region 5.
Yes,
Of Gawad Kalinga, thank you so much for your not only contribution but really truly is a partnership, right? With
it's a partnership.
yeah,
We
so
hope to do more in the future. We can't promise, but we hope to do more in the future. We don't know when disaster strikes. We have to
right,
be ready. We have
right.
to be ready. Fortunately, I'm shameless. I'm not shy about asking for
Yeah. Well,
donation.
somebody said, who was it who said? I think it was Jose. I mean, Jose. I think it was Luis Oqueñana, who's our chairman of Gawad Kalinga. He said, don't be ashamed to ask. It's not for you anyway. You're asking for people
For
who,
the people, yes, that's why.
right. Well, we love
That's
that.
why I that's why
So
I have no shame in asking for donation. I
that's
just
what we
ask
need.
because
That's what
all
we need.
there's a 50-50 chance that you get what you ask for, right? So
Yes.
you always
We,
ask.
we have a few more comments here, Miss Gloria from Facebook. They're commenting on Facebook. From Repair,
Oh, look at that.
yeah, go, go, go. GK walang iwanan. And
Ah,
uh, from good morning po from GK Consuelo, GK Takasan. These are the people who are watching.
where is Takasan?
I don't know
Where is
which
she?
cousin is.
She must be in the Philippines.
Yes, Philippines po. I
Okay.
don't know what part of the
And
Philippines.
I know Myrna Reyes. I've met her during our empowerment conference in Carson, California. She's
Yeah.
a wonderful person. She's the one who said, "Oh, you're doing Gawad Kalinga. That's great."
Yes, and
Yes.
she's so excited. I think she commented on the promotion, like when we announced that you were going to be guesting with us this evening. She was so excited about that as well. And then
I hope some other Nafa region will partner with Gawad Kalinga.
we hope so too. Calling shout out to all other regions of NAFA. You're
Yes.
to obviously to join us. We invite you to join Gawad Kalinga movement, right? To fight poverty, right? To fight hunger also. And then Maricel also said, our respected Greg Macabenta helped us put together a marketing plan when GK first started in the USA. So that's what I was mentioning to you earlier, Tita.
He is great. Mr. Macabenta is great.
Yes.
I think he's retired, but he still get involved.
Yes.
Yes.
And then from Tito Boy, Jose Maria Montalibano, he said, that's great. Shameless for your people in need.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I don't know. So, like some people will go walk the other way when they see me. Said, here comes Gloria. She's going to ask for money. But I don't care. I
You will give
ask.
anyway, right? Because,
Yeah. It's for the poor people in the Philippines. Even non-Filipinos, when I tell them what we're doing, they actually donate.
Yes.
I have several non-Filipino friends. When I approach them, they donate.
Yes. I think they just
See,
need to understand the need, right? How
yes, the need. Yeah.
and they would, those people who have golden hearts will open their hearts. And
It helps when you are a 501c3.
yes.
It helps because when they donate to us, it's tax deductible.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are 501c3 also here in the US, right?
Yes, we are. Yes.
Yeah. So that helps a lot. It's good to have that. That's an NGO. We are both NGO. So you're all over. What's your current project in Gawad Kalinga in the Philippines?
Oh, we have plenty of programs.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So Kusina ng Kalinga, which you support, is just one of them. When was it? I think a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, we had the partnership manager of SEED, School for Experiential and Entrepreneurial Development.
Great.
That Gawad Kalinga established. Also, that's another program. There's a lot of programs that people can be involved in. They can pick a program that really matches their interests, right? So in terms of whatever resources they can or that's not just monetary. Some people would offer their talents. Some people would offer their network or their skills maybe. So there's plenty of room to be involved in the Gawad Kalinga movement. I have some.
I was wondering, you still do the feed the children?
I think that's the Kusina ng Kalinga.
Kusina ng Kalinga. Yeah.
Yes,
you do that.
I actually personally supported that too. Last year around Christmas, I raised some funds for that, and also during my birthday fundraiser summer last year. So Kusina ng Kalinga is popular.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that our last funding of 9,000, part of it, the 8,000 was last year, and then the 1,100 is this year. The total of $9,264 was for Rolly, Typhoon Ulysses, and Rolly. Yeah, I just want to mention that because I forgot to mention it.
All right.
That's our last one. I'm not sure what we're going to do next, but we need to, what we do is we have to be ready for the next disaster. I hope we don't have disaster, but there's always a typhoon in the Philippines, 20 times a year, average.
And I'm glad you
Oh,
mentioned that, and that because that is so true, right? We have to prepare for things like that because it's not a question whether or not typhoons will strike. It's just a question of when and how many times. And it's
yeah, the
many
Typhoon
times.
Ulysses and Rolly is not as popular as Typhoon Yolanda, where
Yes,
all the countries were helping. But
yes,
this time it's difficult because of COVID.
yes,
Each
yes, exactly.
the other countries are dealing with COVID,
Hmm.
so we just have to help because who else will help?
Right, exactly.
Yes,
So
yes.
we have some more messages here. Maricel said Takasan is in Tarlac, Philippines. I should know this because I'm from Pampanga, but I don't know. I
Oh,
didn't.
you're Kapampangan.
I'm Kapampangan. Yes po. And then
I'm
from Leslie
Bisaya.
and then from Leslie Tikia, who's our area director here in the Midwest, in the North Central region, she said, "Thank you po, Madam Gloria Williams."
Oh, you're welcome. It's our pleasure. We're very proud of what we have accomplished, and we're proud of our teamwork. Everybody works hard to do this, and we hope we will be successful in the future.
Right. So some more here. Yeah, I think Marisol said yeah, Nafa, San Diego's Mirna Reyes. I think we covered that. Hold on. We currently have Gifts of Hope, disaster recovery for the typhoon Ulysses and Rolly for shelter repairs and livelihood assistance.
Yeah.
Again,
Maricel said that she's going to send us some pictures when they do the repairs.
okay.
Yes, she's going to send us some pictures. Yes.
Okay. She said, Takasan is in Pampanga. Okay, so I should really know that, but I did not. Sorry,
Well,
mga kabalen kong
you've
Kapampangan,
been
I
here.
should know.
You've been here a long time. How long have you been here?
1998 was when I
Oh,
been raised in the Philippines, and I grew up in San Fernando, Pampanga.
uh,
Yes, there's a lot of towns in Pampanga that I'm not very familiar with.
yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't love my Kabalens. I love you. I love my Kapampangan heritage, obviously. Okay, from Tito Boy again. Jose Maria Montalibano. Gawad Kalinga has one of the most massive presence in the Philippines and can link PhilAms to the barangays here and can serve to facilitate. Right.
Right.
We had Tito Boy Montalibano as our guest, a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, we talked about really connecting to to the barangay level, and and Gawad Kalinga has that capacity to connect to that level, and and help that level.
Well, I want to thank Gawad Kalinga for doing the condo for the homeless who lived in the cemetery in Cebu. So I want to thank Gawad Kalinga for that. Yeah, because that's my hometown.
Yeah, it's one of the most Gawad Kalinga. I said this when we first talked about doing this Kwentong GK. I was really excited because we will never run out of stories to tell in Gawad Kalinga. And what the Cebu, the condo building that you're talking about, where people used to live in a cemetery, and then Gawad
Yeah.
built homes for them. That's one of the really, compelling and really powerful stories that we have from the community. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit here and talk about Nafa. When we were talking before we went live, you mentioned how you're excited and proud that the new or next generation of PhilAms are getting involved in the organization. And in fact, the current chair, national chair for NAFA is Brendan Flores, right? I think he's a millennial, maybe even younger. I don't know.
He's a millennial. He's a
Yes.
millennial.
So right. So
Call
very
me. They call me. By the way, they call me millennial. See, he's a millennial, but they coined the word millennial for me because I was the oldest one in the summit. Anyway, that's right.
But that is really exciting how the next generation of films are getting involved. I know just by my involvement in other organizations as well that seems to be a challenge for for quite a few Filipino associations is how to get the younger Filipino American generation involved. So how do you do that with Even in
It's
five, you have
yes,
younger, members who are
yes.
joining.
We have younger people now. We have millennials in our organization. Um, well, we have a succession plan.
Mhm.
However, it doesn't start right now. It starts when they were little, when we take them to our meetings and
Right.
we make them dance the cultural dances. So they get involved already as they grow up. So
Hmm.
it's a natural progression from being a child, sitting down,
Right.
listening to their moms,
Being told what to do.
being told what to do and what we are doing. And they
Right.
get proud of that. And so uh, that's why we have these millennials doing some of our work. And so hopefully they will continue to do that. It's
Mhm.
not easy. It's not easy to convince the young ones, the millennials, to get involved with NAFA because they have their own lives. They have young children also,
Yes.
and they have to be successful in their career.
Right.
But when they see us working so hard to put together the Filipino diaspora projects,
Hmm.
you know, our mission, our vision for the future of the Filipino Americans. That's what we try to emphasize, and that's why we have some young ones.
Yeah.
The old ones we're still there. Us millennials will still be there, like me. I will be an advisor in the future,
Hmm.
I'll tell them what to do, maybe.
Well, when we understand the challenge of that, right? How the next generation of Phil-Ams have maybe limited time, and their priorities are really their family, or maybe even building their own careers, right? And I'm glad you mentioned that. But also, when you started NAFA, right? You also had young children at that time.
Yes, I did.
Right. But you were able to put up establish NAFA's Region 5 with all of those challenges, with everything else that you also needed to do.
It helps when you have people around you who believes in the same mission and vision of NAFA.
Right.
They believe in it, and I have a lot of people around me who are like that. They know exactly what they want to do.
Right.
And regarding our young people, most of them grow up with our culture,
Right.
learning our culture. So
And that's great. I think if the next generation of Filipino Americans have, an appreciation and love for their heritage and their culture, their Filipino heritage and culture,
yes, exactly.
and understand the importance of advancing, right, the interests of the Filipino American people, then it should be easier to get them involved in organizations such as NAFA, or even Gawad Kalinga USA, and even all the other Filipino
Yeah.
associations.
Most of our kids grow up with our Filipino organizations. We have a couple of them here in Colorado, and they get involved as they grow up of what we're doing, and so that's why. And
All
I'm
right.
glad
Well,
it's a challenge. It's quite a challenge, actually. It's not easy, but we try
yeah.
to
Well,
instill in them the
it looks
Filipino
like
culture.
I mean, you've established Region 5 since 1999, and it's
Yes,
one, it's going strong. You've been helping, not only, pushing your own advocacy, forward, being the voice, I would say the official voice, right, of the Filipino American people
yes,
country, but you also help out other organizations. You help out the motherland, like the Philippines, and so
yes,
I think all of those are measures of how successful NAFA has been, especially your Region 5 that you represent.
yes. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you. We have very wonderful team.
I'm sure you do.
I'm not the only one doing this. It's a team effort. It's
I'm sure
really
you
a
I'm sure
team
you do.
effort. Yes.
There we're excited to meet the rest of your team as well. At this point, I want to share with our viewers here your website, the
Yes, please.
Nafa Region 5 website that they can visit, and Chrissy will also share this this website, the link
This is in Carson, California.
when you had the 2019 national.
We had our empowerment conference over there in Carson.
So you do this every year, Miss Gloria?
Every 2 years, but because of COVID, we're not able to do that.
This year, okay.
Yeah, the national was established in 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, there you are. See?
Yes.
It's right here.
Yeah. Oh, some of the pictures are not current. It's okay. We'll have to edit. We have to update this. And by the way, we have a national membership drive where you can be a member for free for this year.
Okay.
So you can be a member. You can be a member. You want to be a member?
I can be a member.
Okay. You can be a member in the Chicago region.
Okay. Well, there is a member. Yeah, there's a members. There's a chapter here as well, right? For Nafa.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Miss Gloria, now I invite you to, maybe for your last final message for this, before we end the night, if you want to invite them to, join NAF or at least check out the website and all of that. Any final words you'd like to share with us?
Yes. Let's remember that we need to help our kababayans in whatever vehicle you want to do. Fortunately, we know Gawad Kalinga, so we use Gawad Kalinga as our vehicle for our donations in order to help the poor in the Philippines when they have disasters. So we have to remember that we cannot forget our kababayans. We need to remember that our kababayans need our help. So let's help them.
All
And don't say no to me when I approach you for donation.
That's right, because you're not asking for. You're not.
For me, not for me.
Right,
it's for the voice of the poor.
Yes.
We have to remember that.
Yes. So we are the voice of the poor just as much as NAFA is the voice for the Filipino
Americans.
Yes.
The national also have fundraising for the COVID victims and the typhoon victims. So we give to the national too when we can.
All right.
But I don't know. I don't think they use the Gawad Kalinga, but still, it goes to the Philippines.
Yeah. So we have another message here from Maricel. GKUSA board member Carol Tulud, Tita Carol, is reaching.
Oh, Nafa Houston, yes.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. Our Nafa family is growing, right?
Growing, yes.
Nafa is growing, and we are super excited about that. You are a wonderful, amazing, example, of what you've done and continue to do for Gawad Kalinga. And, we are excited for the expanded partnerships in other Nafa regions as well. So thank you so much, Miss Gloria, for joining us.
Thank you. I have so much fun with you, Donna.
All right. I had a lot of fun too. And I look forward to meeting you in person or when it's safe to, to get together. I've never visited Denver.
So you are in Chicago, right?
I'm in Chicago, and my husband and I have been talking about, cross-country driving, like driving through the
come to Colorado.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful in Colorado.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I know of people there, but I've never really visited. So
you know me now.
Yes,
you can call me.
Meeting you in person, when we can all travel and we can all get together. So
yes,
that's it for us tonight, folks. And again, This has been another episode of Kwentong GK with Miss Gloria Williams of Nafa, Rocky Mountain Region 5. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and make it a habit every Thursday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific. Please join us for another episode of Kwentong GK. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.